Good morning, and thank you for joining me. It is officially the second day of September, and the meteorological, there we go, unofficial start to fall. And at 56 degrees this morning when I woke up, I'm definitely feeling the difference. I'm also feeling the discomfort. I am a spring and summer girl, and fall just causes me to want to lock up. And so I think that this transitioning into fall also speaks to the being with our discomfort. Change is usually uncomfortable. Transitioning from the summer months where the vibrations were really, really high, we felt really physically supported, we could do a lot. As we start to slow down, there's a lot of resistance around that. There's a lot of noticing how we have to create our own energy, and noticing how to store our own energy, and deciding where to spend and where to store. And there's a lot of discomfort that comes up. There's a lot of demand on our energy, and the discomfort is asking us to slow down and pay attention. One of the things that's becoming really clear to me, and that I'm really remembering, is that discomfort is just a signal. And when we ignore that signal, we're ignoring our needs. And by ignoring our needs, we're depleting our energy. And by depleting our energy, we're creating stuckness, stagnance, disease, all of those things that we're wanting to avoid, especially in the winter months when our energy is lower. And so how do we, between now and the 22nd, begin to notice these things? The trees lose their leaves in the fall in order to maintain a balance of energy, so that when spring comes, they're ready for it. If we hold on to all the stuff that's draining us throughout the winter months, we're not going to have the energy to even make it to the spring. And so how do we begin to apply this? So for me, this is what it's looked like. I notice the resistance. That's the first thing that I'm able to notice. And for me, the resistance feels like heavy feeling in my chest. I notice my fists are balled up. My jaw is tight. And I'm trying to push through something. That means I'm uncomfortable. So why am I uncomfortable? Sometimes it's really simple. You've forgotten to drink water. You've forgotten to take a minute to breathe. You have been going at it for 6 hours straight, and it's time to just relax for a minute. It's time to be present. You have lost your grounding, and you just need to take a minute to center and be comfortable. Get comfortable again. Give the body what it needs in order to continue forward. Sometimes you're being triggered. Suddenly everything's fine. It's a beautiful day. The breeze is blowing. And all of a sudden you are knocked back by something, whether it's anger, resentment, stagnance, just shut down. You don't know why you're shutting down. You just are. Notice the discomfort. Where is it? What are you doing? Is the jaw tight? Is the fist clenched? Are you closing the chest? Are you crossing the arms and the legs? How are you reacting to the discomfort? What's causing it? Was it something someone said? Is it a feeling that you're getting? Are you having a deja vu moment that's triggering some trauma? What's real? Are we really in danger? Because discomfort is usually saying, pay attention, there may be danger. There may be something that needs to be taken care of. Again, sometimes it's just we need a drink of water. We're getting ready to thirst to death. Other times it's, oh shit, move out of the way. Here comes the bus. If you don't stop to pay attention, the bus might take you out. If you don't stop to pay attention, you're probably going to end up dehydrated. Sometimes the consequence is extreme. Sometimes the consequence is a little less extreme. I'm going to feel like crap versus I'm going to be maybe dead. But unless we stop, sometimes the brain, a lot of times, interprets it the same way. Either way, I could die. I could die from dehydration. I mean, it's very unlikely. It's very unlikely that I'm going to get hit by a bus. But can I notice, are these things applicable? You know, do I need to slow down? Am I getting ready to walk into the middle of the street? You know, is there a potential for a bus? You know, have I not drank water in 8 hours? My body's going to respond to that, especially if I'm, you know, sweating, or, you know, I'm losing a lot of fluids, or it's very hot outside. I'm doing a lot of energy exchanging, especially for those who are more empathetic and more sensitive to energy. You know, those of us who are energy sensitive, we really should be drinking double the amount of recommended water. And, you know, that's based on our weight. It's also based on the amount of stress that we encounter each day. So back to discomfort. Are we acknowledging our stress? Are we just pushing it away and going, oh, I can't be stressed out about that right now. I can't feel that right now. Can't do that right now. Well, when are you going to do it? When are you going to acknowledge it? When are you going to give it the time that it needs? And if you're not going to, then guess what you're doing? You're putting it somewhere and you're carrying it. And guess what carrying heavy shit does? It wears your ass out. Spend the emotion, spend the heavy, get rid of it, let it go as soon as possible. Then move forward with a lot less weight on your back. If you're carrying 100 pounds, it's a whole lot harder to get shit done. It's a whole lot harder to relax with something strapped on your back. It's a whole lot harder to have fun. Of course you're uncomfortable. You're carrying 100 pounds worth of shit that you don't need to carry. Is the discomfort necessary? Are we ignoring it for no reason? Could we just get rid of it if we paid attention? Can we redo the programming that says ignoring it is helpful when we are clearly seeing that ignoring it is not helpful? What do you do with the discomfort? Well, you know, of course, present moment. What is it calling for? What's the discomfort? Do you need to get a drink of water? Then get one. You know, do you need to take a minute? Can you take a minute? If you can't, what can you do? Can you be mindful of the stress and go, oh, that's heavy? Only takes a minute. Just acknowledging it helps you to shift. It's what we don't understand. We think that we have to fix it all right now. Sometimes we can't. Sometimes we literally are getting ready to get hit by a bus, and if we take a minute to acknowledge the discomfort, we can't get out of the road in time. So it's being able to be in the present moment and judge that. We can't do that if we're ignoring the signals that say pay attention. Practical application, present moment awareness, patience, practice, knowing the answer is going to be different every time, which is exactly why it's necessary to ask the questions and get present instead of just assuming that, you know, this worked last time, probably going to work again today. Wonder why it didn't work. Well, because you didn't take the time to see if that's what was needed. You just assumed. There is no quick fix. There is no one fix. There is no, I did it this way, you do it this way, we'll keep doing it this way till we die. That doesn't work. Look at the past. Look at the past. If that worked, then the advice that your ancestors gave you would apply to your daily life today. And it doesn't. And there's many reasons why. And one of them to be considered is that life 100 years ago looked a lot different than it does today. The things that we're subjected to, the energy that's present, the thinking, the thought, the expectation, the food that we eat, the air that we breathe, those things are different. Are you holding on to beliefs that are outdated, that do not apply to your modern experience out of respect and reverence? And if so, can you reflect on those things? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm sure that there is value in those things. But your perspective is looking at it the way that it was looked at 100 years ago. How can that tool be adjusted, be updated, be reprogrammed into something that works for you in today's world, in your experience, based on your triggers, based on who you are as a person? There's a lot of variables. The bare bones is that it's all about going back in. How does this apply to me? How does this work for me? Is this what I need to be looking at? If it is, what's important? Am I making this more complicated, or am I simplifying it too much? Where's the balance in things? We're always looking for that balance. Always, always, always. Too much of a good thing is not a good thing. We know that. How do we find the balance? How do we continue to have this conversation with ourselves? How do we notice? How do we support ourselves in the discomfort? How do we practice drinking the water before we have to get to a place of dehydration? How do we become mindful enough to notice to look both ways before we step out into the street to make sure there's not a bus? The more we practice presence, the more we notice our discomforts, the less uncomfortable we become, because the more present we are. We don't need the discomfort to signal us to pay attention. We're already paying attention. We're building momentum. We're building resilience instead of resistance. Resilience comes from a place of nurturing and supporting yourself. Resistance comes from a place of feeling depleted, exhausted, and beat up. As we move into fall, how do we notice? How do we sit with ourselves? We've got 20 days. How can we suck up some of this energy from the summer and store it through practice? Be outside. Watch the sunset. Connect with the natural energies. Get in line with the days getting shorter. Stop expecting to spend energy from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. and start realizing that you're going to need more rest. Start accepting that the days are shorter and less will get done. And so how do you prepare yourself? How do you begin to create a routine that is supportive of the shorter days? How do you begin to check things off the to-do list that will allow you to rest more and spend less energy? How do you get more organized? How do you plan better? How do you build better boundaries? How do you say no? How do you restore your energy? What are you paying attention to? How are you applying these principles? What tools are you using? Stop saying I can't or I don't know, and be still and remember. And if you truly don't know, if you truly need support, where are your best support systems? Don't call and have a fit. Don't fall apart. Know what you need and ask for it. Get online and search. Do a Google search. We have more information at our fingertips than ever before. And if you find information and you are questioning it, question it. Do some more research. Ask some people. Get on Facebook and make a post. Hey, does anybody know anything about this? Find a group that talks about things like that. We are not stuck the way we used to be. We are not alone. There are so many people going through the same journey. Remember, there is someone out there. There is someone else who has already gone through what you're going through. And they are looking to help you. They would be absolutely grateful for you to reach out. They would see helping you as such a blessing. Let those people help you. Because as you let those people help you, guess what? The folks that you want to bless and who are going to see you giving as a blessing and are going to use those blessings to restore themselves, they're going to start showing up too. Let's feed the healing cycles. Let's do this together. Let's hold hands and walk in the direction of the kingdom together. Let's find our sacred space. Let's make a way where there hasn't always been one. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for doing your work, even on the hard days, especially on the hard days. I see you, and I'm so, so honored to share my journey with you. Namaste. Until next time.